Today we celebrate the start of the construction of the Jaquesset Neck Bridge. This is the first phase of a multi-year project that, when complete, will restore hundreds of acres of the Herring River estuary.
This project is a testament to the remarkable grassroots efforts led by the Friends of the Herring River, and today we triumphantly mark and celebrate all those efforts. Congratulations.
Back in 2007, a group of citizens got together in response to a sense that the federal government, the state government, the official agencies needed some additional support.
This group of people were just a loose group of people. They weren't an organization. And so our chair, who had been going to those meetings, Don Palladino, decided that he'd be the first president. Gary Joseph and John Reel and Eben Portnoy went into the community and got people that they think would be extremely valuable on a board like this.
In 2009, when Friends of Herring River became a nonprofit organization, a board of directors was established. Members of the community who were volunteers at that point, who really provided some operational heft to the work of the Friends.
And many of us joined in because of our interest in the project, interest in our community, our science background, a variety of other factors formed Friends of Herring River.
The initial reason for forming it was we needed a way to manage funds for the construction from various agencies and nonprofits.
And they needed to distribute the grant funds. So there was that very functional need.
One of the main objectives of the Friends at the time that it was founded was to sit at the center of the project and understand everything that was going on, because with these multi-party projects, it's complicated.
So we really needed sort of an umbrella organization to look out specifically for the welfare of the river as a whole.
And then to communicate with the community about the project with like one unified voice.
Having a knowledgeable community is critically important. We've had over 150, 160 meetings with individuals. We've had various forums whereby individuals could come and be informed about how this project is taking place.
And a lot of what we needed to do is dispel misinformation and really address fears and really promote the science. The dike had been in place for a very long time, and people were used to the salt marsh being choked off. What's really important is to be open to people's questions, to really validate them for having these questions. It was our call to action to make sure that we were at the table with these people and really getting them accurate information, working closely with the shellfish community.
The Friends of Herring River would answer every question the shellfish community had. They'd always be there, they'd always set up a meeting, they'd set up a meeting with the scientists, they'd come to meetings themselves, they'd answer emails.
Working closely with various groups in various neighborhoods to really understand what their concerns were and give them accurate information.
And we put on so many public programs. I think we did 60 in 4 years, 60 programs in about 4 years, which is a lot.
Once people realize they're not only they're being heard, they're being listened to, they're being responded to, now what, Now we can move forward together.
I was frustrated by how slowly we went. It was like walking in molasses for about the first 10 years, and I only realized how slow it was when we got past the Cape Cod Commission and things started to fly. We had 100 people in the room at the Council on Aging and 40 people standing. And we had a lineup of 36 people that wanted to speak positively.
This project of restoration is a noble one.
It's probably the most studied, best analyzed, well thought out project.
The river should never kill its fish. I think we owe the children something better.
A 200+ acre shellfish habitat will be restored.
It's really time we built a bridge.
We had contacted every other environmental group and people from all kinds of state and federal agencies that were supporting this. We had developed a coalition.
And getting the approval paved the way for all of the other local, state, and federal environmental permits.
All of a sudden, everybody wanted to play with us because it looked real. And then we started to really deal with the design for the new bridge and all of the things that that required. We just had all of these specialists. We had people that were hydrologists. We had the surveyors. We had salinization experts that could tell us how far the salt might go. We had everything. And it was a fascinating, multi-pronged project.
The vast majority of the grants prior to construction phase were awarded to Friends of Herring River, administered and managed by Friends of Herring River. When the project moved from conceptual to permit level design, Friends of Herring River's role changed. We needed funding for additional engineering and design. Friends of Herring River have taken a lead role in helping the contractors develop those plans and getting them reviewed and approved by the agencies in a timely manner to ensure that work can continue.
We've worked very closely with the permitting, apply for the permits, maintain the permits, and work with various regulatory agencies.
Now that the project is in its construction phase, the town of Wellfleet is managing the actual construction itself, and then the Friends of Herring River manages all of the non-construction contracts, which means that we are developing the scope, managing the contractors, all of the data collection, the deliverables, and all of the funding and all of the payment for those services all comes through the Friends. And at any given time, the Friends have about 12 contracts or more.
So Friends of Herring River has picked up a lot of the pieces, and one of those that's been most significant has been a lot of the monitoring. Water levels, water quality levels, rare and endangered species, and coordinating various studies.
At the same time, it does do so much outreach and communication about the project in general.
We have spoken at a variety of community events. We've gone to neighborhood association meetings, many walks that always feature local experts in ecology.
We're at farmers markets, at festivals. We're really helping people to understand this project, what's happening day to day, give people updates on the construction, and then what it's going to look like in the future as well, and the benefits of projects like this.
Whenever communities ask us in the Senator's office around the state how they can undertake an environmental restoration effort, we tell them, look to the Herring River Restoration Project and talk to the Friends of the Herring River.
Friends of Herring River has had the awesome opportunity to be able to more actively work alongside individuals and organizations who are working on restorations across Cape Cod and the islands, and so it's an exciting time for us to be able to provide some capacity and some resources to really support some restoration efforts in addition to our work with Herring River Restoration Project.
All of the efforts that we've done with community engagement and bringing people together, funders, partners, community leaders, legislature, those are lessons that are learned, and that's taken decades. And so being able to share that with other groups and enable them is something that's really important to us.
Friends of Herring River is really based on values of community power, of community organizing, advocacy, outreach, engagement, coupled with the necessity and efficacy of science-driven decision-making. Those two values, coupled with tremendous integrity in process and governance, are really, I think, what embodies Friends of Herring River.
That vision resonates in the community, and that excitement, that determination is contagious. And I think that attracts success. It attracts the talent and success that's needed to make things happen. And I think that's the trajectory of this project.
We started it because we're interested and we care and we had energy.
It wasn't something that, a bureaucrat somewhere dreamed up. That came from local people right here on Cape Cod. So the Friends of the Herring River really challenging, I think, government to do better.
So it's a real success story in community organizing and outreach and listening to people and having flexibility while never letting go of the core mission.